Hi, I'm Emma Whittam, and I'm delighted to introduce you to Highland Adapts. As we are all reminded, and never more so than this summer, with record-breaking temperatures, devastating floods, and extreme wildfires all hitting the headlines, we can see our climate is changing. Adapting to climate change is necessary, regardless of how much we manage to cut our carbon emissions. This is because historic emissions have already changed our climate and will continue to do so in the decades to come. So, with our climate changing, we need to make adjustments. We need to adapt. This could be making changes to our buildings so they keep cool during hotter summers or are less at risk of being flooded. It could be using scarce water resources more efficiently or making changes to the crops we grow or trees we plant in our forests so that they are less vulnerable to new pests and diseases or to storms and wildfires. Highland Adapts is a visionary, region-wide, multi-agency initiative guiding climate adaptation in Highland. It is relatively new, and to date the partners have been working together to design the initiative, develop its governance structure, and identifying the mechanisms to deliver climate action across the Highlands. We have 8 partner organisations currently as part of Highland Adapts, and these include Highland Council, that are the host of the initiative, Highlands and Islands Enterprise, NHS Highland, Nature Scot, Forestry and Land Scotland, Changeworks, Zero Waste Scotland, and Sniffer, who have the Adaptation Scotland programme. These partners, some are funding and some are non-funding partners, but together they have put money into a pot that has allowed Highland Adapts to recruit me to lead this project. What's fantastic about this group of people and the organisations they represent is that they're all passionate about working together to tackle the challenges of climate change and working together to get the Highlands ready for climate change that is to come. The purpose of Highland Adapts is to bring together everyone, including communities, businesses, land managers, and the public sector to work together to facilitate transformational action towards this prosperous, climate-ready Highland that we have a vision for. Now we have 10 guiding principles, and this initiative is all about action, transformational action. And to achieve this as a community, we're going to have to be brave, we're going to have to lead by example, and it's it's really important for Highland Adapts that we ensure that we embed hope in people, that that this transformation is not only possible, but it's also a very positive shift. Working together and through collaborative practices is imperative, as is making all our decisions evidence-based and, more importantly, place-based, working with people on the ground to ensure that it is community centred and people centred. It's really important also to Highland Adapts that that our approach is fair and just, and all our work is rooted in this deep understanding of the needs and the priorities of communities. We also want to be celebrating all the fantastic things that are already happening in our and throughout our communities, and through this building the capacity and empowering people to take action and to ensure that they feel supported to do this. The objectives of Highland Adapts. So almost I'll take you on a little journey of how this is going to work. Now that our governance is in place and our structure is agreed, the next step is to gather all the existing data that is out there. This will be working with the current set of partners and potentially new partners too, building that Highland picture. What are our risks? Where are our vulnerable communities? And what are our opportunities going forward? And then perhaps even more importantly, we need to be working with our communities on the ground, hearing the real stories. What are their fears? What are their aspirations? And what are their experiences of living in a particular place? So we'll be collecting this qualitative data as well as the quantitative data and putting them together to inform regional-wide and in some cases very localised risk assessments, vulnerability assessments. And this data and knowledge gathering stage is a really imperative foundational part of Highland Adapts, and it'll inform all of the rest of our work going forward. And with this information, we will work with communities to develop action plans that will then form the basis of projects and activities across the public sector, communities, land management, and the business sector to develop plans, strategies, and guide investments. Now you see a lovely picture of our partnership model. So this governance approach is based on shared power with clear channels of communication and domains of accountability to support a collective journey towards meaningful transformation. It is dynamic. It has got space there to allow the initiative and the teams within it to grow and to adapt and to respond to a changing environment that is out there. You will see in the middle we've got our core group. This is the centre of the partnership, and it connects all the thematic teams and is effectively the delivery mechanism for the partnership. And if you can see here that there's two little icons of people between each of the thematic groups and the centre core group, and that is because there's a core group representative on each thematic team, and there's a thematic team rep on the core group, and this is there to ensure that there is that level of accountability, but also support and also these clear communication channels. At the top there of the circle, we've got the programme board. This is the strategic decision-making body that provides the general direction of the partnership and supports and ensures that we all remain true to our purpose and our principles as we go on this journey. Then we've got our community climate champions, and this group is supporting and empowering a network of community climate action champions across the whole region, ensuring that climate change adaptation is embedded in all community action in Highland in a consistent and integrated way. And then we have our strategic adaptation team, and this is where they support and guide public sector agencies to integrate and embed climate change adaptation, making adaptation business as usual. Then we have our engagement team. This is the listening, challenging arm of the partnership that is rooted in the community and focused on gathering all that data I was speaking about that's going to help build that big picture and that vision of what a climate-ready Highland looks like. Then we've got our data and assessment team, and through working with a broad spectrum of partners, we'll ensure that the partnership is using the most up-to-date climate, health, social, economic and environmental data, science and projections to inform all Highland Adapts project work. They will inform all of the Highland Adapts project work and communications. And this team will also lead on the assessment work for the partnership. And then we've got our action planning team, which won't kick in straight away because we need the foundation of all this other work first, but this will be a group of experts that will work with specific communities or sectors to develop these bespoke action plans and then support the design of the projects that will come out of that. And then connecting everything up, we have our communications team, a vibrant creative team that will lead on the development, implementation of the Highland Adapts communication strategy, which will have the main focus of supporting, informing, inspiring and celebrating climate action across the whole community. Communication is really, we feel communication is the key role at Highland Adapts here. So this is a really quite a significant team that'll pull all of this together. So this model is all about working together playing to the strengths of individuals and our different partner organisations, and empowering us all to step forward and take active roles in climate adaptation. And each of these teams, they're made up of a diverse range of people from all areas of society. So whether that be the third sector, whether that be youth groups, whether that be our different public sector bodies that we have. And what's really important to emphasise here is that everybody that's part of Highland Adapts has an equal voice. And hopefully this model allows that that to be that sort of share of power to be really to be felt and realised. And as Highland Adapts evolves and it grows, then ultimately so will those teams. And in a year's time, as we've been on this journey, as we go into this journey, these teams might be different. This is what we think we need at this point in time. So in terms of timings, we are at the stage where we're ready to go out to that first sort of phase on our objectives on our journey and gathering the data, and that'll probably take the best part of the next 6 months. So that certainly is a big task, but one that we're very much ready to be jumping into with lots of enthusiasm. So I would just like to finish up by saying Highland Adapts is at the beginning of its journey. I very much hope in the coming months and certainly in the next year that you hear a lot more about Highland Adapts and from Highland Adapts. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more about Highland Adapts, or to find out a way that you might be able to become involved, or that your organisation could become involved, then please do email me. So I'm emma.whittam@highland.gov.uk, and I'd absolutely love to hear from you. And if you've got ideas you'd like to share about community climate action, or more specifically adaptation, then absolutely do get in touch. I'd very much love to hear from you, and thank you. And I hope you've enjoyed finding out a little bit more about Highland Adapts.